There are so many new sellers hopping into Etsy selling digital products right now, and that's totally okay. Oversaturation is not what we're talking about. But what I do want to talk about are some easy things to help you get a leg up as quickly as possible so that you can start making money on your new Etsy shop. If you've been following me for years, you know that I specialize in drop shipping products, but I've taken all of that experience focusing on niches and products and people and the mindset behind buying things, and I've transitioned it into selling digital products on Etsy to see what I can have success with. And it's amazing to me how much of it translates over to digital sales if you just focus on the right things. One of the first things that you'll do, and even I did when I first started just to get the ball rolling, is that you'll pick what type of digital products you want to sell. Right now, I'm experimenting with custom signage and tumbler wraps for cups. That is a great place to start, and it's a great place to stay. There are so many people making 7 figures a year selling tumbler wraps. It's really amazing. And if you want to be one of those people who even just wants to make a few extra $100s a month to a few $1,000s a month, it's an easy category niche to work in. All you really need to be successful in tumbler wraps is a little bit of a curious brain, some great mock-ups, and an AI tool to help you make images, as well as Canva if you want to design some images yourself. A peek behind the curtain with me is that I use a lot of AI-generated images, but then I also, if I kind of get bored doing that, or the results just aren't getting what I want, I will hop into Canva and search what elements they have in there, what photos and graphics they have, and sometimes I will design complete tumbler wrap designs on my own within Canva. So you can do both. You can have success either way, but there is a mental thing that you need to keep in mind that will help you along the way and drive a lot of your success within your store. If you're using a product research tool like Everbee, that's what most people use, that's what I use. A link will be in the description if you want to check that out. We can utilize that to get a lot of information, all the way down to analyzing very specific listings that get a lot of sales and even copying the exact tags that they used on that image to hopefully help you rank in the same category. If you've watched other videos of people talking about selling on Etsy, pretty soon you're gonna find somebody talking about nurses and teachers. And I wanna stick to that example so that you can use that example towards your own ideas. But nurses and teachers are still, I sell nurse and teacher stuff all the time. Like it works, even though people talk about it like crazy. So I'm going to talk about it too and use it as part of my description for you. So there's a valuable piece of information hidden behind the nurses and teachers' success story of design. So one thing working in your favor is that being a nurse and a teacher is usually a more feminine dominant profession. So there's already going to be a high percentage of people in those professions that are more likely to be either shopping on Etsy or buying something that somebody made on Etsy using your design, which seamlessly combines into something that I've used for dropshipping product research and I've already found very quick success with in my digital Etsy shops. And that is focusing on products, designs, whatever you're selling, on people who have professions that have a high workforce and are proud of their work. Sticking with the tumbler wraps example, who's going to be buying your product? I'm making PNGs for people. So they're basically going to be people who make tumblers to sell them. That's going to be like half, if not more. And then a lot of the other people buying them are going to be hobbyists at home who make tumblers, use these sublimation designs, and make them as gifts for people that they know. So it's hobbyists and small business people. So finding those professions that are out in the world of people who have, a lot of people are in that profession. There's a lot of nurses. How many hospitals does your city have? How many nurses are in each hospital? How many cities are all across the country? There are so many people in that profession. There's all sorts of categories of nurses, travel nurses, everything. Same thing with teachers. How many teachers do you think are in the country? It's a high amount of workforce of people in that job. And it's not like a warehouse worker who, like these people are proud. They would be proud to have a cup, or somebody would likely make them a gift that has something that's basically shouting out what they do for a living because it's commendable. It's like you could search professions in the US and look at like the most workforce in each profession in the US. And that's a good place to start, to be like, okay, pretty soon you're going to find out that there's a lot of postal workers that work in the US, and you never really thought about that before. If you followed me for a while, I had a lot of success selling postal worker products and toys and stuff like that nobody was really thinking about. But once you start selling them, you realize like, oh, people are buying these for their family members who are post office people and stuff like that, or kids who really like them on their birthday cakes or something. Like It's just an interesting thing once you tap into a niche that you didn't even realize had a really high demand and nobody was filling that need. So 2 professions fit into that category: nurses and teachers. High workforce in the country, proud of their work, or you could show off that that is their job. We're not going to be searching. Like Walmart has a lot of employees, but I doubt a lot of people are going to be wanting to walk around with a tumbler cup that has a bunch of Walmart imagery all over it. You know what I mean? There's a big difference there. Now, where people make a mistake is they stop there. They'll find something like that, or just hear somebody like me say nurse, teacher, and then they'll just be like, I'm going to make a bunch of nurse and teacher designs. And then they won't find success because everybody's doing that. There are so many of those to choose from, and chances are, if we're being real, someone made a better design than you. But this is where you can hop in and kind of tweak your process, and that is find the job. So let's focus on nurses for now. What I like to do, and it almost ensures that you're not copying anybody, it ensures that there's low competition, and it just makes sure that you're going to have a better time and a better chance of selling something in that category. It's also highly testable and rinse and repeatable, which is always my favorite thing. And I opened an Etsy shop not that long ago to test this process out, and I'm already approaching 250 sales. Now, just to get to the point, we're going to combine the profession, nurse, with an interest, common interests. You can use AI to help you with all of these things. You can have AI be like top feminine professions that people are proud of. Like you could queue all this up in AI and not have to do the brain work. That's totally cool. And you could do the same thing with the interests. You could have it give you combinations, and you could go from there. In fact, I just came up with that on the spot. I'll probably do that later and test it out. But I thought of these things, so who knows? We've got nurse and let's say coffee. Profession, interest, people who are coffee lovers, and nurses. Plug that into an AI image generator and be like, give me a nurse and coffee themed image, and just start there. That's a super basic, dumb prompt, but some of my best sellers have come from 1-sentence prompts. We hop online and we hear about all these like paragraph long prompts that create the perfect images. Sure, beautiful images, but I've found just as much success with dumb over-the-counter Cameron prompts that aren't really all that impressive. This image on the screen right now is a nurse and coffee themed image. It might not be perfect, but you can see somebody could walk around with this as their cup for a little while, and they would think it's funny. People would comment on it. It's a novelty item. Same thing with this one. Let's go with teacher and cat. We're combining basically a person who loves cats with being a teacher. Same thing, they would take this, it'd be their fun work cup, and it would be kind of a talking point for people. These, again, profession and interest. I'm gonna rattle off a few more kind of quickly without diving into them too deep, just to give you some more examples and see if anything comes to mind that you could combine. So sticking with nurse and teacher, and these would be interchangeable. So I'm gonna start with teacher. We got teacher, cat, like we already talked about, coffee, like we already talked about. Then we have reading. We got book lovers. So this will be a teacher and book lover. Easy combination, profession and interest. Then we've got teacher and flowers. So just a feminine teacher one that's flower focused. And then we've got teacher and beach. I started with vacation on this one, but then I kind of settled on beach because we're really going to be combining profession with what do most people do when they think of vacation? They think about going on a cruise, the beach, any of those types of things. And if you go with cruise, you're going to get boat specific stuff, and they're not really like mariner people. They're not boat people most of the time, but it's kind of hard to argue palm trees, sand, ocean water, all that kind of stuff mixed with the element of the teacher profession. So if this person prides themselves on being a beach person, then this is a really easy combination. And you can do the same thing with nurse. And coming up with combinations like this really ensures, again, that you're being original, you're not copying other people's designs, and it lets you plug them into an AI generator and just see what happens. I specifically use ChatGPT a lot, and I pay for it so that I can do the image generation. And I usually have it do 3 to 5 images, and then I will select 3 of them and list 3 images. Then I will run ads on everything, and whatever starts to get views and favorites first, usually a favorite, as soon as the first favorite pops up, I will still usually keep everything, but I'll take the ads off of the stuff that's not performing. Keep the ads on the stuff that is performing for a little bit longer until it gets a lot of traction, or at least, I can tell that it's starting to rank for those search terms that I put. And then I will turn ads off of that item and let it do its natural thing. So same thing how you can take these interests and professions You can take all of those cats, coffee, reading, flowers, whatever. I'm looking at my notes, and create 5 images, throw them out there, and test and see which one is better. I did a Harry Potter one that was themed towards something, and I noticed it was getting a lot of views and a lot of favorites, but it wasn't selling anything. So this is just a little extra thing that I'm talking about, and you can see some of the stuff behind me that are just ideas that I'm having. You got to be really careful with these. That's for a different store that I'm messing with as a test. But yeah, you can see that I'm always brainstorming stuff. Anyway, I was starting to get some traction on a Harry Potter themed one, but it wasn't selling. And I dove into the design a little bit more and realized that there was a lot of text, there's like 3 different areas in the design that had text. And because it was AI generated, it really looked bad. And I bet people were like, at a glance with the thumbnail was attracting them. It was attracting action. But then when they dove into the image, it wasn't inspiring a sale. There was something turning them off. So I actually generated 5 new ones that ensured that all the text was good or there wasn't any text at all. And I'm already starting to see traction on those. So what I love about selling things digitally on Etsy is that everything is testable, everything is refinable, and you can make a lot of progress very quickly as long as you keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on in your shop. So thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment if you have any questions, or if you think anything I said could actually be better. I would love to hear that, and I will see you next time.